Yes.
Alright, we're live.
We're back. We had technical difficulties, but we are on item 7, finance and facilities.
No, still
No.
am.
Oh, we didn't approve it, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, sorry. Approval of FY 26 Honeywell contract. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the FY 26 Honeywell contract.
Do we have a second?
I'll
Okay. So we have a motion by Davalos, a second by Ms. Miles. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Miles? Okay. Motion passes. Okay, now we could go to item 7, finance and facilities. A, approval of May bills and payroll. Do we have a motion?
I wasn't here for the budget meeting.
I motion to approve May bills and payroll.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Linda, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Miles? Okay. Motion passes. Item B, approval of budget adjustments and transfers. Do we have a
These are
motion?
not in your packet, but placed at different spots before the meeting. If you have any questions.
So can you explain them to us right quick?
Okay, the first one, Title I, is an increase of 120,777 because it is the final FY 25 allocation. 31,703 is our SB9. This is our 2 mil SB9. This is what our voters vote on every 6 years. And an increase for 343,584. This is our current year allocation. Sounds kind of funny that we're getting that in June, but that's how it's rolling this year. On the third one, Title II is a decrease, again, because it is the final award that PED sent us. 24,160 rural low income schools is a transfer. Kind of funny thing, PD is no longer within that 1,000 instructional function, even though it's for our teachers. It's in a different function, so we've been doing a lot of those this year, transferring it from instruction to PD. EdTech bond 31,900 is an increase. So we had I think it was last meeting, we were able to do our audited cash increases. Our audited cash did not match. The audit did not match what NMFA, New Mexico Finance Authority, is because they hold our bond funds. This is the technology bond. They hold it, we send it, we ask for reimbursement. So this is the difference. We're hoping they will increase it. If they don't, I'm kind of like, oh, well, we're gonna have a overextended budget, but I would rather spend that money, get use out of it, rather than lose it, so.
So what are we trying to spend it on? I guess is
It's anything technology. It is almost done. That fund expires this year. I think we might, it has bought laptops. It's done Chromebooks recently. We've been working on, that's been in place for 4 years. So it's been extended the last 3 years.
so I'm sorry, I think I'm just a little bit confused. So it's going from what fund to what fund?
It is not going,
Or-
if you look at the column, I is an increase bar. It's increasing. the budget.
Right here.
Okay, so on this first one, we're trying to increase for
Our Title
additional
I,
compensation?
those are the lines that we're putting the increase in. So we get a letter that says you have this much budget.
Mm-hmm.
So we take our budget and we put it in objects, into lines like salary or supplies or PD.
So this one's
And a
going
lot
to.
of Title I, much of Title I is used for professional development. So when staff comes here for summer planning and we're paying them, anything outside of their base contract is additional compensation, is categorized that way.
So that's what this first one's for.
Mhm.
Right, for professional development.
Yeah, if we're paying staff additional compensation from those funds, it's PD. Now, the PD line, that's if we're paying someone to come in, or we're paying hotel for staff to travel. But the other one is salary, so if they're being paid a stipend to come in and work, or to also use Title I for summer school, that kind of thing, additional compensation.
So that's for future? I'm sorry, I know I'm asking all these questions. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
At this point in the year, it's sticking this budget in there, and it's not gonna be spent. We're not gonna spend $120,000.
Well, and that's why I was like,
Yeah,
between now and then,
Does this one
like,
get
what do
rolled?
we?
So we can roll Title I to the next school year.
but then what is extremely frustrating and ironic, whatever our rollover is, we won't get it till, we're supposed to get it by January. We should have got this by January, but here we are in June. It's just.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So then we don't have again time to spend it, and then it goes.
Well, so what will, it's kind of a first in, first out. So when we finally do, any expenditures, so once this bar gets approved and I post it, any expenditures that we've already made in Title I for staff, for anything at all, will get charged to the old money first.
Before our next allocation for
Right,
next school
You
year.
know,
In the book.
but yeah, we should have had these in January.
And then the second one has the vehicle or capital outlay.
Right, so what we have budgeted, like in that particular line, we were short, so that's where we're putting the increase. But then, again, we're just sticking it in a line where it's gonna be next year. Fortunately, this particular fund, before they gave us this final award at budget time, they gave us the number. So we've at least budgeted July 1, so we don't have to wait on that. And that particular fund is also cash up front. So we're not spending it and asking for reimbursement, so it's cash that we'll get.
And then the next one, support service, instruction, professional development. So these are all for future.
But so you'll see this is a decrease. See how that adjustment is a decrease?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where we have.
'Cause you didn't use
budget and we have to decrease it. And I know y'all approve or disapprove these. It doesn't matter. If you were to disapprove that decrease, they tough. We're not gonna get the money. So that approving this is.
Approving means that they're acknowledging it and
Yeah,
they see that it's there, not necessarily that
yeah,
they don't want them to take that money, basically, on the decrease.
yeah. Love to be able to argue against it, but
So I'll just need some more education on all these because I am
anytime,
I'm-
for sure.
already confused on, I mean, just because these are significant amounts, to me, I don't know how it all works, obviously, but it's just, yeah, anyway, okay.
Anytime, stop by anytime.
Now we know what we're gonna do for the next pregnancy.
It's just a pain whenever
Yeah.
they give the money at last, like the last minute, or the approvals to the last minute that doesn't let you move on forward, and then you have in between your in-house, like kind of like a debt, but then money comes in and then, right?
You kind of pay it
Yeah.
as you go.
It's really just a game. We're
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Well, to me, there's just more room for error when you're switching money back and forth, back and forth.
But we're not switching money. Once it's in a fund, we never transfer budget from one fund to another, ever.
So from right here, this is a fund, right? General operation. You don't transfer that money to
It's a Title II.
Title II
Right,
or athletes, right?
right,
You only transfer it, like, for example, in general operations
within the.
within the fund. That's why she gave us this. Because that's the only way that we can move money between
Just
these.
within there.
Uh-huh. So on here, this is the list of the fundings. And it comes in here and it tells you where you can move that funding in. Right? Did I explain?
Yep.
See, look, this is scary.
No, and like seeing this has helped me.
This is really good.
I just, like I said, I just need to learn which ones roll over and which ones don't. So that we could.
So what are your thoughts on the other budgets that you get? Do y'all look at those?
I do.
Okay,
I do look at them. I just needed, like I said, I just needed this specific information so that I could reflect back to when the budget is moving or in between the
A
funds.
reference, a better reference.
Yeah.
Well, and then you should be able to reference each of these
Right.
here to
To those.
each bigger fund eventually. They all correspond and you can make the trio.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you set aside a amount of money for bills, but sometimes your electricity comes out lower, but your water came out higher. You could transfer between that.
exactly.
But you have another funding for groceries. You can't change that groceries part
To your
to your
electric
bills.
bill.
That's a,
It's a great way.
that's a good analogy.
You get an A.
We will be using that.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the budget adjustment transfers?
I make a motion to approve the budget adjustment transfers.
Do we have a second? Okay. Ms. Miles seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Motion passes. Personnel, new hires.
We have lots of new hires. At the next board meeting, we would like to have, especially our administrative staff who will be coming in as a meet and greet at the 5 o'clock meeting. So that way you guys can meet them, get to know them. Both principal at the elementary school, Crystal Harmio, Jamila Miller, principal at the high school. And then we have Kendra Johnson, SPED HR director for central office. We're sad to see Monica Fuentes leave central office. However, we're really excited for her opportunity at the middle school for educational technology in that area. And then Veronica Epler is completing her degree as well. So based upon recommendation, she was willing to resign from her position as EA with the knowledge of her current school will allow her to student teach and be in the classroom at the same time for our middle school ELA position.
So she was a
She was a
teacher assistant.
EA at the library. She is completing her degree
By when?
November. And her current program of study from Grand Canyon University will allow her to student teach and teach at the same time.
Good.
Yeah, there's that allowability. Some will and some won't, depending on where you get that degree. So that's why it does say long-term substitute because she won't be paid as a certified teacher. But we couldn't keep her as an EA because, so part of my 90-day plan and talking with legal counsel, they described the fact that if you put an EA in a position as a teacher, you're having a contract with them as an EA and you can't provide them to be a teacher because they're very different contract services. However, this way, if we do it as a long-term substitute, we're contracting her as a long-term substitute, that she will be paid as a long-term substitute. And then when she finishes her degree, then we can move over to the teacher position.
Which that will be in November.
Yes. And pending licensure, right? Like that's the other piece of that. We can't offer services until that as well. So that's the change from going from allowing her to be an EA in that position to her choosing to resign to take this position long term.
So this was a position that we had.
Yes, we interviewed for that as well.
What's this
Awesome.
teacher? Like, what is the position?
English language arts.
At the middle school.
Yes, correct.
And then resignations.
Lorena Castro from Federal Programs, Monica Fuentes, IT, in which she's moving to a different position, and then Veronica Epler as well, making a transition into a new position as well. So exciting for our people who have been with us for a while as they prepare to move up into a different position. I think that's exciting for our district to see that, you know, our people are still learning and growing and
Move forward.
And have the support to be able to do that as well. So
yes.
thank you guys.
Item 9, correspondence and future meetings and events. A, correspondence.
No correspondence.
Future meetings and events, June 30th, 2025, end of fiscal year in 2024.
So we are asking for a special meeting on June 30th for any more bars that might need to be passed, as well as for us to go and hope, and if you guys so choose, pass the policy in regards to leave, because we would like to start July 1 if we do decide for the leave policies to change as the new year starts, that those leave policies would be in place at that time.
Okay. And then July 1st, 2025, beginning of fiscal year of 2025-26.